A blank canvas, a few colors and an idea. Let's see how the art piece, the gold cage life, slowly comes to life. By the way, I'm Cat Wild and I make randomly art stuff on YouTube to improve my art skills. And today, again, I will work with gouache colors on this big brown paper. In addition to that, I will try this fake beat gold for the first time. I can't wait to work with that material. Oh look what I found in this sketch paper pad. Even not that bad. Maybe I was better in sketching a few years before than now. Please, let's not think about that. Being clear about my idea and make a sketch for the art piece. I start with searching for some references, and I also have some self-made references. All these impressions I want to bring together on this sketch. I need that for clarifying my idea in my brain, because my brain is a mess. Before I start, I want to test if the fake beat gold sticks to the paper. So I use this special glue, put a little bit on the paper, and I had to wait 20 minutes. Because I'm filming, we just jumping the waiting phase, and you don't have to be that patient like me. That it looks really good. I didn't expect that, but you know what? I just realized that I'm actually planning to sketch the entire painting first and only then apply the imitation beat gold. My question is, does it also work on gouache? So I had to test it again and wait again. But, well, it worked. Nice. So finally, let's start. My first step of this art process starts with the background. For that reason I mix a lot of white with a little bit of blue to get a very light blue. That's my grounding for this art piece. Then I use a big ruler to structure the details of the background. I really wanted it symmetrical because shelves with files are mostly very symmetrical. Besides, I'm exaggerating with the files. This part took much longer than I planned. I just was playing one evening for that. I spent 3 evenings. But maybe now it's time to introduce you with the idea of this painting. I'm a grown adult that has left the education phase of her life. I'm not a student anymore, it's so sad. I have a love-hate relationship to being a student. I could imagine to be a student all my life long, but I don't have the money to be a student all my life long to study randomly different subjects. I have entered the normal life and I have faced the reality of a normal job life now. Until now I didn't manage to have my dream job or make it smaller, a job that fulfills something in me. Let's say that I tried a lot of the possibilities my life gave me, but somehow I ended up in an office job even I've never planned that. At the same time, it seems for me like there are existing so much more office jobs than other jobs. And maybe there are a few interesting office jobs out there, but I didn't met them until now, so. I experienced that in many office jobs, a large part of work consists of repetitive tasks, such as copying and pasting information or switching from one Excel sheet to another. Even better technique exists as that. I don't say it because I was only in one office job, I was in a few office jobs and somehow it's always kinda the same. So nobody in the company knows how to use better techniques, or they prefer to stuck in old structures while claiming at the same time that there is no innovation. At the end of the day, you may have written several emails and worked with data, but you do not have a tangible result that you can actually hold in your hands. The next day, the same routine starts again and it never really stops. You only live for the weekend and your vacation, even you never was planning to do that. Somehow you accidentally was falling in that rabbit hole. And day by day, these repetitive tasks quickly become very boring. Working like that all day feels very monotonous and the intellectual stimulation you maybe had during studying is missing. But you know, you're having it all. You should be happy. A job that pays your rent, enough food, and some money you can spend for vacation, even events and hobbies. I mean, there are a lot of people that are suffering right now. But is it really the life for the next 40 years?
I doubt it.
In my opinion, a healthy human being is naturally creative and curious. Humans have a desire to learn new tasks and seek intellectual stimulation. The brain requires such challenges in order to release neurotransmitters like serotonin and to generate a sense of achievement. But you don't gain the feeling of achievement with copy-paste tasks. In addition, human beings are designed for physical movement. In addition, we live in a society that gives the interesting shifting human fulfilling work to AI machines while we put ourselves in prisons of monotonous work. In my opinion, it's totally stupid. This may explain why so many people experience psychological health issues, even though their jobs appear attractive or prestigious from the outside. But on the other hand, many people remain in such jobs because they offer stability and allow them to provide for their families. Staying in such a position often feels safer than taking the risk. Society could realistically reduce monotonous work by using software, but that could lead to less working hours or to losing the job. This could be another reason why many employees continue to accept monotonous jobs. And I could go on and on and on and on to discuss this topic in further depth, but then this video will never end. And I'm sure you still have some arguments that I don't have in mind, so let's come back to the art piece. As you see, I was drawing an employed woman in an office. A very common situation, you can see it day by day. Now it's time for the golden cage around her. In the sketch for this painting I planned to draw an entire cage, but now I've decided to paint only the bars. For this step I'm using my ruler again, since the bars need to be very symmetrical and precise. I'm very curious how it's working with the beat gold. First I placed a special glue on the paper, then I wait. As a last step I placed the fake beat gold flakes. But why did I choose the golden cage? Gold has been one of the most powerful and enduring symbols on art across culture and historical periods. Of course, its meaning often depends on context. The woman in the cage is aware of the cage, but she does not have the strength to break it, or perhaps she is afraid to do so. At the same time, the cage symbolizes a prison and protection. The cage represented her inner conflict. On the one hand, she wants to change and free herself from her dependence. On the other hand, the cage provides comfort and familiarity. Breaking it would mean facing the unknown. Coming back to the work of the fake beat gold. The special glue is very sticky and the gold flies away with every little breath. It looks like it has snown gold in my room. I'm so rich. No, not really. It's everything fake. I only get fringe edges out of that. Maybe I need more practice or a sharper knife, but I already started using a new blade. But at the same time, I somehow like this kind of effect. It's not that perfect as I planned, but somehow interesting. And this is the finished art piece. I'm not sure if I like the result. I like the meaning of it. In my opinion, it's not bad, but also not beautiful, not Pinterestable. I mean, art must not be Pinterestable, but it sells better in the internet if it's Pinterestable, let's be honest. But I would rather describe it as interesting. Maybe I wanted to push it too much. But in the end, I'm happy that I drew it, because I'm almost not drawing such ideas because I feel like, my skills aren't ready to do that, to draw something like that, something important like that, because I have an opinion as an artist, you know, such things. I have to overcome this. Not starting something means not growing in something. So start right now, whatever you wanted to start. And see you!